That was from my first.
Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike, the creator of the One Life podcast, believes most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike wants you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The One Life podcast unites the world through art, fashion, music, and film. It inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities and creates an equal playing field for all. On the One Life podcast, they cover topics like building relationships, overcoming adversity, habits of healthy people, and much, much more. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the One Life podcast to your playlist. That's the number one NE Life. Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts,
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the One Life podcast. I am Mike
platform.
And here we're talking about our positive psychology while taking care of our well-being and telling your story, because everybody has an amazing story. In studio today, we have Olivia and Lovell from Antelope Valley Youth Built. How are you guys doing today?
We're well. Well, I'm well. How are you, Lovell?
I'm doing good. Doing really good.
You guys really are like brothers and sisters, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love you guys' chemistry.
Yes. Yeah. Big bro, but.
Hey, bro. How long y'all been working together?
I don't know. How long?
10 years?
10 years? 10.
Seems like
Don't
longer
age
than
me.
that.
Do not age me.
I'm not saying y'all old, but
joking.
I'm just saying this seems old. Seems longer.
Yeah. 10 years.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Okay. That's it?
Yeah,
You don't want to elaborate on
I
that?
was a lot thinner back then.
He had hair.
I had
Can you
hair.
believe it? No. He's
It was starting to go.
So, well, let me ask you this then.
Okay.
How did y'all start working together?
So, do you want to answer that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
because
got
that's
it.
your part, right?
Yeah, so
But you don't have a version?
Now let him.
she don't remember. No, check.
Oh, okay, that's what that is. You don't remember.
But yeah, I would say I was working with Palmdale Treatment Center.
Okay.
And they had a relationship with Youth Build already. And so they were doing Friday Leadership Fridays. So basically, Leadership Fridays is when guests and community partners come in and just really pour into the young people, right, in just different areas. So at the time, I was doing a drug prevention program. And so I would go there and just kind of talk about just different things. And I remember showing up on campus, and they had a family meeting. And so what I noticed, as soon as I walked in there, it felt like a big family. And so they were doing this thing called One Mic. They had to, when they try to get attention, they're talking about choices. And I was like, this is a very strange, meeting. But I'm like, but I love it. And so the other thing that I loved about it was that the young people were leading it, right? The teachers was kind of in the back, and the young people were going at it. I'm like, what kind of place is this? But I'm like, I'm loving it.
Right.
And then, so I was going there every Friday and look forward to it. And so one day I was talking to my coworker at the time, and I told her, I said, you know what? If there's a job opportunity that opens up here, this is where I feel like I'm supposed to be. And because, what I was doing was fine, but, I didn't come from a recovery background, so I almost felt like, imposter in a sense. But I was like, teach the life skills, good, but I didn't have the recovery background. And so, I told her, I said, I think this is where a place I'm supposed to be.
Right.
Kid you not. The following Friday, Rossi, Mr. Cherry, Olivia's husband, comes up. He was like, man, in his way, man, you know somebody who want a job? I'm like, yes, sir, me. And so, and then from there, during the interview process, I had to go through Olivia and a few others. And so, that's how I joined the family here.
Did you make the process hard?
No, I think we did 3. Did we do 2? We did 3.
3, yeah.
3 interviews.
Yeah.
So not too bad.
3?
3 interviews.
So he didn't knock it out the box the first one?
Well, we have a
he's our man.
process, because I think we do an interview process where we like to bring in our young people too, because they're the ones who are going to be interacting with the staff, right? True. So we want to make sure it's a good fit.
I like that. Yeah. So you really use them for everything.
Yeah, they're our future leaders.
I like that. Mm-hmm. So tell us about Youth Build. What is Youth Build?
So Youth Build, actually, we're part of a national affiliated network. We're just one of over 200 across the U.S., and we're also globally, international. So Youth Build really focuses on young people who've been pushed out, or who dropped out or just didn't make it in a regular traditional setting. So we bring them back, not only offer them a WASC accredited high school diploma, but the difference is we focus on 5 components. One, of course, being the classroom education. The second one, we're youth build. So we focus on construction, right? Construction, and we don't mean it as construction that you have to go into construction, but construction meaning the work readiness, right? The routine, the team building, those type of things we focus on. And we do focus on community impact. So they have to do community service. Most of them are student-led. So we want them to participate in the community, be active citizens in their community. And then we do, career development. So not only is construction that they can go into career, but Youth Build also provides other programs. Like for us, we provide advanced manufacturing, we do culinary, we do CAMT, so they can do other career tracks, right? And the other one is counseling. So we really want them, we really kind of wrap around them and provide them that support services so they can transition. So those are the 5 components.
And how long you been in this?
So I have been in it, January was 17 years.
Wow, that's a long
it's
career.
A very long time.
So why?
Why? Because there's a lot of whys. One of my whys, unfortunately, I was a displaced young person. I'll give you the short version. I came here when I was 12 years old to the Antelope Valley. So that was in 90s. I won't age myself, but that was very 90s, 91, 92. And I just did not fit. So this is coming from LA, very much city-like, right? Coming to pretty much, I mean, it's considered urban, but when I moved here, it was pretty rural, right? And I just did not fit in, right? And I got in trouble in school, which the funny thing about it, I was never in trouble before. But because I wasn't, unfortunately, academically challenged, when I moved here, I just stopped going to school. And because school wasn't difficult for me, anytime that I did pop back in, I was able to catch up.
But wait, what age range was you?
So I was 12 years old when I
12.
started. Yeah.
12.
So I was in middle school. I started messing up at 12 years old, right? And so I went to high school, and same thing, just kind of in and out of school, just going with the wrong crowd. But I didn't feel, I was very blessed that at home, my mom wasn't having it, and she would always push me to go back to school, and I had siblings, and all that. I had a support system that always pushed academics, always pushed finish school at least, finish high school at least, my mom would tell me. And then we can, you can kind of do what you want to do, but you're going to finish high school. So I had that pressure at home, so I would go and finish, but it was just hard. I just never felt like I belonged there. And it was a really struggle. I got into fights. I was experimenting with drugs. So it just wasn't something that I just felt very alone. But like I said, academics wasn't challenging for me. So in thinking in hindsight, I imagine our young people now who are struggling, don't fit in, but are also struggling academically. So they have a double whammy. And so I always kind of think about that. But I was really blessed that academics wasn't hard and I finished on time. But then I started working in nonprofits. So I did nonprofit work. I was an outreach worker. I worked at Antelope Valley Partners for Health, which was a great experience. And I worked, one of the best experience there, I was an outreach worker for the Black Infant Health Program. And that allowed me to really go all over the Antelope Valley, which I never knew existed. I would go to Avenue W to visit moms who needed just resources because they were pregnant. And so that really opened my eyes. And in that, I met my husband. I had to go to a nonviolent communication AVP, and he was the co-chair. And the minute I saw him, he was adorable and cute. So we locked eyes.
Gotta say that, right? You kind of gotta say that.
We locked eyes and we just kind of connected. And shout out to my husband, Rossi. But when speaking to him, he's the one who told me, I think it was the second time we met, we were having lunch, and he told me, he's like, yeah, I really want to start this youth build program. I found out about it doing research, and I really want to bring one here. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I said, if you can figure out, like, how to fund this, and all I need to do is just pay my bills. I was a single mom at that point. I will quit my job. And so I met him in July of 2006. He said he already had the ball rolling, kind of talking to people. By, I think, November of 2006, he got the word that we were able to start. So I quit my job December, and we opened our doors in January. So during that whole time, we were just kind of working on that, kind of figure out policies, procedures. It was pretty fast.
Nice.
Yep.
I love that story.
Yeah, thanks.
So you started off in nonprofit and working with the community at a young age?
Uh-huh.
So that's what got you into it?
Yeah, I also worked with the WIC office. I was a nutrition assistant, so I love that job too. So a lot of community work.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, sir? Like, how did you get into ministry?
That's a good question. It's like it pushed me down and knocked me down and dragged me up and, and body slammed me and took me, basically. But I would say, since I was younger, I kind of felt a call to somehow to help the community. Mm-hmm. And so I remember, I had my own plans after high school. I was going to go to UCLA. I had that pipe dream of playing basketball. I wasn't that good. So, but I was basically just because I thought that was what success looked like.
Right.
And so, I felt like, okay, if I'm going to be a good man and strong man, this is what it looked like. And although afterwards I felt like I was trying to fit in everybody else's, what I thought everybody else wanted me to do, right? And so long story short, I applied for to college and stuff, and then April 30th, on my birthday, I was about to say the year, but I ain't gonna do that. But I got the letter, said basically a letter of rejection, and I'm like, oh, my birthday? Really? Y'all gonna send it on my birthday? And so basically I opened it up, and then at that moment I prayed. I'm like, okay. I always felt like I was holding something back. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, all my cards on the table, what do you want me to do? After that, I just had the strong desire to really learn ministry, learn people, find out ways basically to better the community. So anyway, long story short, I ended up working at a Christian school as the janitor. And one of the days I was actually cleaning up, and I'll tell you about my little prideful heart. And when I first got there, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go play with the kids, play basketball. I had this whole thing. And so when I got there, they were like, yeah, you're going to clean toilets. You're going to mop up after the kids after they threw up and, do some other stuff. Mm. And so as I'm there cleaning, I'm like, man, I'm in there complaining. I'm actually talking to God out loud, like, why you got me here? Why you got me here? And as I was cleaning, I had this thought, I believe it was God. It was like, you're called to clean the church. You're called to clean people. And as I'm like, with the urinal, the toilet brush in my hand, I'm like, when it hit me like that, I was like, so it's not just about this job, but it's about the heart behind helping people.
Right.
And so it opened, and so, man, them toys was clean, nice and clean after that. I was singing around, and because it was like I found my purpose.
Right.
And so one of my professors, they told me when ministry or your calling, what happens is like gum in your shoe. Mm-hmm. You can't get rid of it, right? You're just trying to do your best to get rid of it. And so always felt, and after that, it just had a desire to help young people. And so at the school, went from janitor to teaching to vice principal. After that, basically my whole life has been working with young people.
You know what? Yeah. And how old were you when you did that?
18.
18. And so I'm reading a book right now called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Mm. And it's kind of what you just said, right? Mm-hmm. When you was a child, everything's given to you. Your name, your values, everything's given to you. You are what someone told you are. Right. Kind of like what you said, right? Everybody was telling you, and that's what you thought success was. Yeah. But that wasn't really who you was. Nope. So at 18, you finally found your purpose.
Yes, sir.
Most people, takes them longer. Some people don't even find their purpose because they are who someone told them they are. Right. And they still live in that life until they break the habit of being themselves and go from the we system to the I system.
That's good.
Like even with myself, like I just realized, like I've been in entertainment for 35 years, right? And I always thought that was my calling, but I just recently, over the last, I want to say 3-4 years, figured out, you know what? That was just me getting the tools and the skills to do what I do now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good.
Like I'm more happier doing this than I was on a television set.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, it's fun, right?
Yeah,
like
right,
fun
right.
traveling, making money, whatever, meeting celebrities, but
Right.
that wasn't happiness.
Right.
It was fake.
Right. Right. Yeah, because there's a certain contentment, right? I always think about it like almost like when you wearing the wrong size shoe.
Right.
You know, you can be comfortable for a while, then you just get used to being uncomfortable. But once you find a shoe that fits you, it's like you're not wearing shoes because it's natural, right? It's a satisfaction. And so even like I said, in this season of cleaning the toilets, once I found out, not all of it, of course, and we're still finding out more, it was just a little bit. I'm like, so I had a whole different outlook in cleaning toilets. Because it was like, okay, kids have to sit on here. You know, I'm going to get too graphic. I said, but people that God created in his image, I want to make it look good for them.
Right.
And so, of course, it led to other things. But like just agreeing with you, said it's like, no matter, even if people don't see what you're doing, you have this satisfaction on the inside of you that you're in your lane.
Right. Yeah. No, I love that. I love that story. Yeah. So what brought you to Youth Build? I know you said you was at an event or somewhere and you just felt it.
Yeah. And that's what it was. Like I said, when Rossi asked who needed a job, I'm like, I'm on my job there. I'm working. And then so I'm like, sign the brother up.
Right.
And so from there, like I said, it was a part-time job at the time. I was still working with the young people in the probation camps at the time, Camp Challenger. And so I would do my job, go to Youth Build, and do that. And then after a while, doors open where I can stay a little longer. And it became, I would say, more permanent. But it's fun. I forgot the term, but they say it's like basically once you find your purpose, I might be messing it up, but it's almost like you're not working anymore because you love what you're doing. It's challenging. I'm clearly really bald now. No, I'm joking, but it's satisfying. It's satisfying. And then one of the things I would say, just we call it push-ups to Ross and Olivia. They set a climate to where it's structured, but it's supportive. They're not just interested in the student coming in and get a diploma. They want them to be well, like a 360. They want them to be well. And what I noticed, like, I'm talking a lot, I'm sorry, but like people keep coming in. They were there for years, and they graduated, went on, and keep coming. And like they talk about their kids and stuff because they created an atmosphere where they feel like family. And I think people can thrive in that environment.
I like that.
Yeah, I always say, like, one of the biggest reasons we do our program is not necessarily all those things, the high school diploma, the career tracks, all those things are important. But we always emphasize is we want you to make better decisions, right? We want you to make better decisions not only for yourself, for your family, and your community, and, of course, come back to us, for your program. So that's always been at the top, right? It's like, even in our highs and lows with our program, just funding-wise, right? Because we're a nonprofit, you guys. We got to be out there and seek funding, but that's always been at our core, no matter what.
So what do you guys do as far as, because you mentioned that this program is really for people that didn't fit in, like to, I guess, normal society?
Normal traditional schools. Huh?
Right. So, because I didn't. Like, I graduated from a continuation school. Like, regular high school and junior high school just wasn't for me because I was such a fast learner. And I remember when I first got to high school, I had a conversation with a counselor, and she was like I couldn't understand why it took like a whole year to just get through one chapter of a book or something. And I was like, we can be finished with this. Like, I was such a fast learner. She was like, you need to be at your own pace because this class is too slow for you. And it was. It was slow to where it was boring for me, and I was failing because it wasn't interesting. I wasn't paying attention. It wasn't challenging. So I was just sitting there like, and so I failed all my classes. She was like, you need to be on your own. To where I went to continuation where I only went to school every Tuesday I would come turn in my work and do everything at home. And I went through a whole book way before then. Wow. But what do you do
on the academic piece? So we can fast track you. So usually traditional school is are 4 years, right? For a high school diploma. Because we're a high school diploma program, we do, and it's classroom based. So it's not packets and you go home and check in. We do want you to be in the classroom, but we require 200 credits, and you can finish those 200 credits in 2 years versus the 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little bit faster, but we do want you to have the classroom experience for other reasons, right? For the how to resolve conflict, right? How to communicate with your peers when you're having issues.
Yeah, and it's the social part of it.
The social part of it is very important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people that don't fit into traditional stuff, they feel like they're the outcast, right? So how do you work with that? Like people that feel like they don't belong or fit into a group.
Right. So that's kind of how we started with. We call it mental toughness. Mm-hmm. So mental toughness allows the young people to kind of. It's not. You don't come into class right away. So we build that trust and that culture of love and respect. So you get a clean slate with us coming in. So we know that everybody coming in has some type of struggle, right? Mm-hmm. And we all have struggles. And so we make that very apparent, like, we know we don't care type of thing. So it's like, what are you bringing to the table type of, like, more strength-based, right? Mm-hmm. So you all have a talent, you all have a gift. Let's figure it out together. Yep. So it's that clean slate that they come into. And then in these mental toughness, we do different type of exercises just to build that we build that trust release. We kind of build it, right? So there's different activities, diversity activities, simple things like playing dodgeball or just, and having circle time. So just that, because it allows young people who don't want to be there not to be there. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to, nobody in our program is forced. Yeah. So that's one of the key things. We want you to be there because you want to be there. Right. So usually our mental toughness is anywhere from 1 week to 2 weeks before they even start the academics.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, that's true. I mean, even like with, I've had this conversation with so many people recently that, like I was watching a TV show one day, and this guy was sitting in a rehab center, and the lady behind the counter said, "Are you still waiting?" And he was like, "Yeah." She was like, "You do know rehab is for people who want it, not for people who need it, right?" It's like that with everything. Like, people I have a good friend right now that's in a lot of trouble, right? And me and another friend keep trying to help him. And I remember his girlfriend was calling me like, "He's doing this again." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, but it's only so much I can do." Like, he has to want to change. There's nothing I can say or do. I got to be there as a friend, listen. I can kind of give him some advice, but it's up to him if he wants to take it. Even if he takes it, like, what is he going to do with it? Like, people got to want it. And you can't force people to do anything, because once you force them, it's never going to work. Right. Exactly. They're not going to get the value of it. The only way they get the value of it is if they want it. Right, so go back to your story.
Okay, yeah, but one of the young men, we actually did a workshop today with the guys, and the topic was belonging, which was really cool. But one of the guys who was there was one of the young men I met when I first arrived, and so he was, young. He was cool, respectful, but I don't think he was ready, right? And so again, we didn't force him to be there, but he would just in and out, he'll apply and leave or whatever. But then this year, I would say even starting last year, same guy, he's coming in every day. When he can't make it, he's calling. When he has to work, he'll drive in, check in with his teachers, and leave. When I left just now, I was a little bit late. I was left because he wanted me to unlock the lab cart so he can finish his work. Same guy, but he's ready now. Mm-hmm. He's taken opportunity. He's going even above and beyond now. And the other thing what I love about it, and again, going back to the leadership, he's encouraging other ones who were basically in the same mindset he was, and just basically letting them know, like, no, you got to handle it, And so, again, like you're saying, it's when they're ready.
Right. And not force it. Like, we all have different capacities. right? So, and I had to learn that because I always used to tell people, just do it, like it's simple. Yeah, it was simple for me, right? But maybe it's not simple for you.
Right.
Maybe you need more time.
Right, exactly.
Even like the story I was telling you earlier, I tell people, maybe it's not for you right now.
Right now, yeah.
Maybe you need to take time maybe you need to take time for yourself, handle what you're doing, and then let's revisit later. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But sometimes people take that mean.
Well, I think one of the biggest thing is like you still had to hold people accountable. It's accountability.
Right, yeah.
It's still accountability. So in our program, we still hold people accountable. Like, you can't miss days. So when you're ready, give us a call back, right? So it's the same thing. It's accountability. And the funny thing about it is that, I always want to make this point out because we really focus on respect, right? We have this thing, like, I still call him Mr. Lovell. He calls me Miss Olivia.
I was going to call you Miss Olivia.
Yeah, you should. So it just, it's not, and you just get used to it. And even with our young people, we call him Mr. Lenny. We just a sign of respect. And,
right.
And I think that's big. And I think that's something that they never even thought of. Like, I'm going to call you what you want me to call you. Is this how you want me to call you? And it's like, yeah, no one has ever asked me that. Yeah. So I think that's what, that's our biggest core. Like, I don't care if you're the janitor or a CEO, you're going to get treated the same way.
Right.
So,
So you guys, is it an open door policy for you guys? Or
what do you mean open door policy?
Like they can come and go as they want? They
No.
can stop? No?
No. So, there's conversations that are had, right? If they're missing a lot of days, of course, we want to know why, right? Like, what support do you need? And I'll go into that a little bit more. That's one of the reasons we became ACT, like Advancing Communities Together, because we started off with Youth Build.
Okay.
But based on the needs of our young people, we had to grow, right? And so one of the biggest things that we started to grow was our housing arm, because our young people were homeless, right? They weren't coming to school because they didn't want to. They were coming to school because they had to figure out where they were going to stay at, right? So with that, we worked with the city. My earphones are falling out.
I'm sorry. I'm on a budget, so I don't have one that adjust. So.
So what happened is that our young people were homeless. Like, there just were a lot of young people or they didn't know they were homeless, right? They got kicked out and they're just living couch to couch, and they're just like, well, I'm going to stay at my friend's house, or I got to go to LA because that's my cousin going to let me stay there for a week, so I can't, I'm going to miss school. So things like that, they didn't know they were homeless. So it's like, no, you're homeless, so we got to figure things out. And so we were really blessed with our partnership with the city of Palmdale. We went for some funding and we built our first transitional age youth housing for homeless youth, and we call it Palmdale Dream Center. So it serves 11 young people who are struggling with homelessness, and so we provide them case management, wraparound services, and the bigger part is life skills, right? So they can transition out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And that's through the ACT program?
That's through, so ACT, Advancing Communities Together, is the nonprofit under Youth Build, so we're the umbrella now of the organization, and then there's Youth Build, there's our Palmdale Dream Center, and then there's our Palmdale Dream Village, elevated to ACT, which is our mentoring arm, and what am I missing? Our career development piece, our pre-apprenticeship programs.
You guys have a lot going on.
Yeah, and again, it's based on the needs of our young people and the needs of their families as well, right? Because you can't just serve one person. You kind of start serving our families as well.
I love that. So what started that?
Our young people. Our young people.
No, I know, but like, I guess someone had a situation one day, or?
Yeah, so what was going on is just we were just a lot of just the conversations that we were having with young people, right? Because again, that accountability piece is like, hey, what's going on? Why are you missing so much? How can we support? And then it's like, well, I got to go to LA because I got to stay with my family, or, our family got evicted, or not. So all these, they were just happening so frequently.
So what I love about that is that you guys said, okay, we need to find a solution to this. Most companies, they just kind of stick with what they do. They don't build on the problems, because there are problems that we all have to deal with. I love that.
Yeah. So, and we can't take all the credit. Again, we went to City of Palmdale, just kind of like, what housing is available here? What can we do? And so it was a collaborative effort.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's and I love shout out to City of Palmdale, because one thing I love about Palmdale. Like, they actually are out there in the community doing things. I've said that a few times. I love that about them.
Yeah.
So what other programs are you guys looking to build now to go further, or are you guys stopping it with the many you have now?
So again, with the construction program and our youth build program, we know we needed to do more, right? We started partnering with our local union, right, and to provide more of a pathway for direct employment, right? Because we believe, one of the core beliefs is that if, you really want to break cycles of poverty, we really need to provide quality education and career developments, not necessarily just, we call it mortgage paying jobs, right? Just kind of breaking actual cycles of poverty where they can survive. And so part of those conversations, my better half was having with the local unions, and just kind of like, we need to bring these jobs here, right? We need to start hiring more local hires here in our community. And so shout out to Local Iron Workers 433, because they're one of the first unions that partnered with us back in 2018, 2017. So, we were able to get their partnership and backing of all the other 40 unions. So we created a pathway for them to get union jobs with our pre-apprenticeship programs.
Is it only union jobs, or?
Well, it's not, yes. So can someone else, can a young person graduate from a program, get those skills, and go somewhere else? 100%, yeah. So we just had a young person come back. He's working for the county, right? He's, doing the soil, I don't know, what is it called? Testing the soil, okay. Right? But because of the skills he's learned, he was able to do that, right? So no, they don't have to. We don't push them towards that, but they can, right? They can. They'll be ready for it.
But is that the only training you guys provide? Or?
So that's construction is our biggest one. That's our main one. But we have advanced manufacturing as well for pre-apprenticeship, and then we also launched our CAMT, which is Certified Apartment Maintenance Technician. And then we're doing a culinary training program with a focus on entrepreneurship. Yeah, so that's what we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where does let's talk about well-being right now.
Let's talk about well-being. Okay.
I'm
gonna make it.
Wait, what?
I'm making them laugh. I'm getting them flustered. What's up?
What? What do you mean? Oh, you're funny.
Okay. What you want?
How much of it has she spread it on you?
It's crazy because now I can't even think of having a meeting without having food along with it. She did that to me.
Food,
part of well-being.
Well-being. So every time we
nourishment.
So like we need to meet. I'm like, okay, let's go eat somewhere. I'm like, okay. So after a while, it became now it's a habit. So I can't meet without eating. So yeah, that's one of the things that rubbed off. And so when they went to Colorado, the Zoom meetings, I'm like, man, this is messed up. I can't eat. I just have to focus. But yeah.
He wants to talk about how we implemented well-being into our work environment.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, part of that. Okay, that's one part of it. But I would just say one of the things that she brought back, what was really helpful, and actually I was going to talk about it earlier, is, and actually she's been saying this for years, but we really start pushing it, but really recognizing people's strengths. She would always tell us as staff, she was like, don't pay attention, not so much pay attention, but don't just view the young people or even each other as just with the deficit approach, right? You look at them like, no, this person, yeah, they may be in poverty, yeah, they may not have enough credits, they may be homeless, whatever, but what do they have? What do they have going for them? What are their strengths? And so one of the things that, and that helped me out quite a bit, because sometimes I would, as far as holding people accountable, I'm like, well, he's going through, but I'm like, no, he got the strength to survive, so hold him accountable, right? But I would say as a well-being, even help us identifying as staff, it helped us to know that, okay, I don't have to be strong at everything. I can stay in my lane, because when I'm trying to, again, fit a shoe that I'm not fit to wear, it's going to put stress, strain, and I can't give the quality that I'm called to bring to the table. And I would say that's one of the things that she's really been pushing us. We actually this year, in August, I believe, she had us do the VIA Strengths survey and talk about the 5 strengths. And so we did that as staff. And it's so funny because now, you know, we're big on self-awareness. And so as we're aware of our strengths, I'm like, okay, now I know where a certain staff member can thrive at because of their strength. Instead of just trying to, make a cookie cutter thing. It's like, no, this person's better over here because then they have a better well-being. They're not super stressed because they're in their lane.
Right.
And so, and even bringing it to the young people, we did that mental toughness, talked about your 5 strengths. And then basically, and again, a relationship piece where you can help people know where they belong. So we want them to feel like they belong, but now they have something to contribute because they come with a strength. And so I tell them all our job is just to water it, put some sunshine to it, and let you grow in it. And so, but I would say the emphasis on that has helped me like really thrive. I'm not that I've arrived yet at all, but like really own my strength and what I can contribute to not only youth build, but my family and everything else.
Do you know your 5 strengths?
I think so. Well,
Okay.
I would say
What's your top one?
I would say kindness.
Is kindness is it your top one?
Yeah. And then humor is right after that, which I thought was funny because naturally I do come up with I'll say something stupid or goofy but I didn't recognize that until we did that.
Was you satisfied with your top 5 or was you surprised?
Part of it I was surprised.
I was surprised on mine.
Yeah.
Like I thought all my top 5 was in my bottom 5.
Really?
Yeah, honestly.
Interesting.
It really,
Interesting.
except I think one of them, I thought, okay, I see that, but the other ones, I was like, wow.
Oh,
really?
okay. Oh, okay.
But as I went through the course and I got to learn myself more, I can see it now.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I signed up for it too, so hopefully I get
it.
it.
Oh, you should definitely take it.
Yes, you did.
You should definitely take it.
My sister encouraged me to do it.
One of the things that I looked forward to going to class once a month was listening to Olivia.
Really?
Yes, because you was one of the few people that always spoke up. Like she was really engaged. Yeah. I like people that's engaged because that's how I learn. Yeah. Like I love listening to people like that because I like to know how they think. Yeah. So she would always, speak. Even though in the beginning of the class they said let other people speak. Like, don't always be the one answering. And I tried to contain myself. Like, I'm not going to answer this.
I did too.
I'm going to let everybody else get a chance.
5, 4,
okay. But then nobody would say anything. And I'd be like, okay, well.
Right.
Well, it was because one of my top 5 is love for learning.
Right.
So I was like, oh, wait, I'm here to learn, so I'm going to ask this question.
No, and you was always present. Like, I could tell, like, she was going to be the one that really took. And I was talking to Lewis earlier about this. Like, she was one of the ones that took well-being and really is going to apply it, right? Like, I knew she would because she was really present, engaged with the class. And that's why I say I love listening to her talk because even, like, with her emotional times.
Oh, Lord.
Like, those is the
I
best.
was telling you. I'm like, I feel like I'm in therapy.
Hey, I tell people all the time, that course was like therapy on steroids.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you're gonna get emotional.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are.
It's so funny because she did a preview maybe with us in our staff meeting.
Oh, the Wheel of Life. It was for the same time for professional development, I did Wheel of Life with them.
What was your best part about the class? Well, not the best part. Let me ask you this: what was your biggest takeaway?
The Wheel of Life. That's why. That's why I definitely decided to do it because it was the hardest part of the whole course because it was in your face type of thing. I felt like these are my things where I know where I'm struggling and I don't want to move forward, right? So it was like, wow. And my biggest thing is like, I don't want to die with this knowledge, right? I always want to like share my knowledge. So if that was my biggest takeaway, then I definitely want to share that with other people because for me, that who thinks that, oh, you know what, I'm pretty intelligent. I got, I run an organization. I do all these things and I'm good. But that wheel of life, Lord, that really shook me. It shook me because it opened up things that I thought I healed from, which I didn't. So,
Like
yeah.
Like that.
That was the hardest one.
The hardest.
Mm-hmm. Hardest and the best at the same time.
And what was your least? Or was there a least?
I don't think there was a least. I don't think it was a least.
Is there something that you still constantly work on, like daily?
That wheel of life.
Oh.
So I constantly think about that in my everyday type of thing. It's like, okay, I said I want to move, from a 7 to 8 in this space. Am I doing that today? What am I doing to contribute that today? Right. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You took like the biggest one. I took like the simple ones. Like I'm constantly like, I don't know, because I look at like trying to find my flow when I'm in a bad mood, right?
Oh yeah.
I try to, I'm always big on the jolts of joys. Like if I'm like my energy is low, I try to go, okay, let me find my flow. But to find your flow, now first I gotta find my jolts of joy, like what's gonna work, and then I find my flow, right? But then at the end of the day, and this is what I use daily. At the end of every day, I'm constantly asking myself, okay, what went well today?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I try to celebrate those wins. Like, okay, this went well. Even if it was a bad production day or whatever, I say, okay, what went well? And that actually helps me a lot. That puts me in a really good space. Like, okay, today was good.
Yeah, I think when one of the last meetings we had and we were kind of sharing what we did, right, for our culminating project. Lorena really spoke on something that really touched me because she said she was the one. Lorena, I think her name is.
Lorena?
Lorena.
Okay.
I just said Lorena because it's my accent, right? So she mentioned how this is very biblical, right? Like what we're doing is very biblical and very, and so that connected with me because I was like, yeah, it is. Because my number one strength is faith, and I've noticed that there's that gratitude that naturally comes, like you said. What was good today? So I make sure, like, I start off my day like just with those type of things, right? Just kind of being thankful and start my day with the faith. But that has really just when I thought about it, I'm like, it's so true. It's very spiritual. It's all encompassing. So, yeah, that was kind of.
Yeah, my number one strength is spirituality.
Yeah, me too.
So it definitely, and I'm kind of similar. In the morning, I'm first thing I do before my foot when my foot do hit the ground, because that's one of the, what do you call it, when I anchor something. When we anchor something to something. Yeah. So whenever I get up out of bed, I put my foot on the ground, I sit on the edge of the bed, and then I just say, thank you, Jesus, for, let me have a warm bed. Thank you for the roof over my head. Awesome. I just start reeling off a couple of things, the gratitude, right? And then at the end of the day, I always, if I have a bad day, I say, okay, what went well? Wow. It kind of brings it all together.
Brings it all together, yeah.
That's really good. Actually, I'm going to start using that, what went well.
Well, yeah, because positive psychology is about, it focuses on the good, opposed to psychology focuses on, okay, what went wrong?
Yeah.
Like, so if you just focus on, if you string together a bunch of good things, like if you're going through a bad day and you say, okay, you know what went well? Well, you woke up today. Let's start there. Yeah. Simple things. Like I said, slept in a warm bed, had a roof over my head. I was able to eat today. You string a bunch of these things together, and then you look like, you know what, today wasn't so bad.
I like that. Wow.
Yeah.
That works for me all the time.
That's good. That's good. And then you can stay present and
appreciate all the little things that we take for granted on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm very thankful for the Wellbeing course, because it allowed you to look at things from a different lens, right? Your vision just kind of opens up to so many other perspectives versus just your narrow thinking, right? So, and here I was thinking I'm so open-minded, and I'm this, just this open. Wellbeing really just kind of help with that inner transformation, right? And just allowed me to see things from many different lenses.
I think a lot of us felt that way, because I know when I first went to the course, I was excited about it when someone, I forgot who told me about it, but Diana told me about it. And I was like, I'm going to take this course. I'm going to change the world, blah, blah, blah. Halfway through it, like I said, it was therapy on steroids, changed my life. I mean, now I just had a different perspective halfway through it. I realized it's not about me changing the world, but it was me changing me. Like finding my purpose and giving myself grace and, setting boundaries for myself now and putting myself first. 'Cause I never put myself first for anything until I took this course. And I learned how to do it through this course. Wow. Now I have set boundaries. I'm okay with telling someone no now. I'm okay with telling someone, you know what? Yeah, I'll be a part of it. 'Cause I sit on a couple of boards. Okay, I'll do this. Because even Lisa asked me this morning, Mike, do you have the capacity to sit on another board? And I was like, yeah, but I was very clear to them in a meeting. This is my time. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm okay with saying that. I'm not going to do anything more. This is what I'm going to do. That's it. I'm good with that. Like either you could take it or it's not a good fit.
It's not a good fit, yeah.
And I'm okay with that because everything doesn't fit. Right. So definitely changed me. You're going to love it.
Man, I can't wait because that's why I struggle.
I can't wait. I want to hear the stories. Yes, sir. So yeah, that's supposed to be starting April. That's started, so.
Are you on the waiting list?
Yeah, right now
yes, I think so.
Yeah, but no, February. So sometime this month they're going to send out an email. And I think you're supposed to send in like a little paragraph or essay of why you want to join. And then they're going to review all that and start picking people. So
like the same way we did.
Yeah. So they're going to start that process sometime this month. Okay. Because I remember it was in February that they did that. Okay. And then you got to sit around for weeks and wait. Did they pick me? Did they pick me?
Gotcha.
And they're going to wait till the last minute. Because they waited till the last minute for me. Matter of fact, I had to call Nardi. Like, hey, did I get in? Like... Y'all didn't want me. She was like, no, we sent you an email. You didn't get it. I was like, no. She's like, so she had to resend me the email. Oh, okay. They sent me an email, but I didn't get it.
Okay, got it.
So they had me waiting an extra few weeks. I was like, I thought I was in.
Like, how you not want me?
Yeah, like, tripping.
Don't you know?
But no, the CAP class, I love it. I love being a part of the coalition now. Are you happy about that?
Well, we went to it.
I'm looking
forward to it. I think that, everyone, kids, adults, seniors, we all should have, we all need to learn more about well-being. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. And then the third class, which would be you, will join afterwards. So it's not just, it's more than just the course. Got it. Like you're going to join the coalition.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the coalition.
It's so funny. I love it. It's so funny because, there's, like you mentioned, people ask you to be on certain boards, committees, and things like that. And I've always said no. But this one I was just like so excited to do. I'm like, yes, I'm doing this.
Really?
Yeah. Because I've always kind of had like really strict boundaries. Not always. I mean, I'm lying, but, I'm trying to get there. But one of my biggest things is like, don't do anything after work.
All right.
And because I have my kids, I'm like, don't do anything after work. Try to be home, be present with your kids. So, but this one, I was like, Mama, sometimes you're going to come with me. I'm telling my daughter, I'm like, you're going to come with me because we're going to do this. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard, especially being an entrepreneur. Because I look at you as an entrepreneur as well.
Thank you.
Because it's to balance that work-life balance. It really, I tell people there's no such thing because I don't feel like it is.
Well, I think you just, one of the biggest things that I don't want to do is burn myself out, right? So there is some type of balance, right? When, say, if my daughter's talking to me and she'll tell me, because my daughter's very outspoken for an 8-year-old and very direct. She'll tell me, I need you to turn everything off and look at me when I'm talking to you, so I know you're listening to me. And so I'm like, okay. So I need to make sure everything's off. Even if she's talking to me in the car and I have the radio, she's like, Mom, can you please turn on the radio so I know you're listening? I'm like, yes.
Well, you know what? You know what's funny?
I wanted to do those things.
My daughter just turned 22. I remember, I think when she was 18, I was with her, and I used to take a lot of selfies with me and her. And one day she was like, Dad, you're only taking selfies. I forgot what the reason she gave, to put on your social media or whatever. She was like, but when you're with me, can you just be present and not take a selfie and put it out in the world? I stopped taking pictures. I literally did, because what she said, and I forgot how she worded it, like it really hit me. Like, oh shit, my daughter don't think I'm present when I'm with her. So I don't take pictures of her no more. But that was just me being dad, taking memories, like capturing memories. But in her mind, she's like, you just doing that for Instagram. And I was like, whoa. And I stopped. And I haven't, since then, I haven't taken a picture with her. But now I feel like bad, like.
Well, you know, there's never a perfect manual on how to parent. Yeah.
It's so bad. Oh my God.
Yeah. Right.
It is. You have kids?
Yeah, I got two.
Yeah.
Teenagers? Or?
I have a 23-year-old son.
Okay, so you know.
Yeah, and then
A
11-year-old daughter.
Yeah, so both my kids are over 21, and it's like, man.
I don't know what I was thinking. I have an 8-year-old, and then I have a 15 and a 16 and a 22.
What made you want to start over?
Lord, I don't know.
I was dating somebody 2 years ago, and they asked me if I wanted a kid.
You gave him that expression.
My kids are grown. Like, I want to start over.
Right.
Like, no.
But she's my girl. She's my only girl. I have 3 boys.
I mean, if I was honest, I said, if it happens, it happens. But
Yeah.
it's not something I'm planning. Definitely not something to plan. Yeah. So you did.
So I did, but it's been the best experience.
Oh.
Having my daughter, it's just awesome. Well, all my kids, right? I don't want to. I don't want them to say, "See,
Is she
Mom,
the
I
best?
told
Is
you."
she the best?
No, she's just funny. I think, you know, being a woman of color, and you know, and just trying to handle those boundaries, right? And just kind of figuring out the world. And so you want her to be strong, you want her to be intelligent, you want her to stand up for herself. You know, all those things. So yeah, and same thing with my boys, right? So yeah, I've shared, you know, just things that, yeah.
So let me ask you this question: with all the stuff that you see, and obviously going through Youth Build with all the kids there, how do you prepare like your kids for?
Well, I think just having honest conversations, you know, and like I said, there's no perfect method, right? I think you know, I'm still learning. You know, do I have it right? And probably not. My kids would be like, no, probably. But I think one of the biggest things that has helped me is having really honest conversations with them. Like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, what do you need me to do, right? What do you need in this moment, right? So that we can figure this out. Because, yeah, raising kids, it's no joke. It's hard.
It is. I'm the same way. Me and my son have a great relationship. Me and my daughter is off and on. 1 year she loves me. Next year she hates me.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I really don't. And I've never done anything. Yeah. But it's like just one of those. I don't want to genderize it, but everybody.
Yeah, don't genderize it.
I'm trying not to, but you know, no, but you know what? I've been told that from a few people. Oh, this is like the little, like, because she's growing into a woman right now. She's at that age. And it all started when, I think she was like 15, 16, is when she started, like, me and my daughter used to be really close. Because I was the dad, because I was always entrepreneur. So I was always at home while my ex-wife, she went to work. So I kind of was at home watching them all the time, doing my work at home. So me and my daughter always used to be close. It wasn't until she got like 15, 16 where we started having this love-hate relationship. Yeah, and it started getting weird. And people just, that's just her going into her womanly. And I was like, okay. And I just let it go. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I was just like, you know. And I give her space. Like, so when I know she don't want to talk, like when I go over there, like, I just give her space. Like, I don't pressure her. Like I was talking about earlier, pressure. Like, I'm not that parent that, no, you got to talk to me. No, we going to lunch. Like, we going to sit down and talk. Like, I let her do it at her own time, and it's worked so far. Like, you know, she will call me when she wants to have a conversation. She will call me, and I'm okay with that. Like, I don't want to force it, because I don't want to push her away.
Right.
Yeah, but it is hard though.
It is hard.
And every kid is different.
Yeah, yeah. So I think with the Wellbeing, it really kind of allowed me to put my wall down with my kids. I mean, I grew up old school, right? Just kind of like you had to respect your parents no matter what. You're not allowed to talk back, not allowed to give them any stink eyes, nothing, right? So you get the chancla thrown. And so I just had to kind of like take that away, right? Just like, let's just have real conversations. And I think that's, helped tremendously. But I still, there's still some hard days, just like any other parent, right? And they're just really hard days. But you got to take the good and the bad because, I only have them for so long.
Exactly.
Right? And so I'm gonna definitely always treasure the good times over any bad, right? So just kind of like, those are the things that I try to strive for.
Right. No, absolutely. And with my kids, like I say, even though my daughter and I, it's this hate love thing, there's always respect.
Yeah.
Like she's never disrespected me. I've never disrespected her. I've never yelled at her, hit her, anything. Me and my ex-wife, we did a great job of raising them, and they both respectful. And they both know that mom and dad is always here for them. But we do give them the freedom to, live their life and make their choice. And I always made it clear to them, like, look, I'm not responsible for your happiness.
Yeah.
Like, I just truly believe that. Like, I can sit here and give you advice and give you all the tools that you need for life, but it's up to you. Every decision you make from this point forward is how your life is going to turn out. So you're adults now. I'm always going to be here for you, 100%. But your life is your life. Like, I'm not responsible for that, for your happiness, whether. And I think...
and they're not responsible for yours either.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I learned. We're learning. My husband and I was so funny because we went vacation 2 years ago. We went to, usually try to do like a Mexico trip or whatever. I went to Puerto Vallarta. All the kids wanted to do was stay in their hotel. And we're like, let's go here, let's go there. Nah. And so last year we said, okay, we're just going to not do anything drastic like that. We're just going to do camping and, kind of try to do, and then this year we're like, let's just leave the kids at home.
Just leave them at home.
Let's leave them at home. They're going to stay in their rooms anyways.
I mean,
it's not, and then we get all worked up. Like, you don't want to do this? Well, what do you want to do? We just get all worked up and like, it's like, yeah. Leave the kids home this year.
I'm not mad at that.
That's the solution.
I'm not mad at that. I'll probably do the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
why waste the money? You can stay in your room.
Yeah.
So what's next for Youth Built? Like any big projects, any big things you guys got coming up?
Yeah, so we're working again with the city of Palmdale and just kind of really focusing on, just really providing some type of solution to our homeless issue, right? And so our next project that we're working on, we have a couple. So one is the Palmdale Dream Village. So we have Palmdale Dream Center now. We're working on Palmdale Dream Village, which would allow 20 tiny homes to be built next door to our building. We own a lot next door. So in that, we'll provide interim housing for the adults there. But we want to do things a little bit different where we can provide them again with these opportunities for training, high school diploma, just the programs we have now currently. But really, again, that wraparound case management support because, I think we're really blessed that our facility has those things already where they don't have to go anywhere, right? And we have a really awesome program manager who's just amazing. So she's looking at a lot of more just because it takes a village, It's a community effort. So she's bringing in resources from DMH, Valley Oasis to come to the site already, right? And just kind of provide that extra level of care that they need so they're not Antelope Valley is very, how do you say it, sparse? Like, you kind of need a car, can't really rely on transportation. So our whole goal is to provide all those services in-house, right? So from housing all the way down to education and career development.
All in one.
All in one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what's next and big for Miss Olivia with the Wellbeing?
What's next? And this coalition, get it funded and get it so that we can provide this for everyone.
Nice. Are you gonna connect the Youth Built with the coalition? Or
oh, absolutely. I think young people definitely need to be involved. We talked about it a little bit, but I haven't really kind of discussed it but definitely I think, I really think there are future, right?
Right,
So
absolutely.
got to get them involved.
No, and that's why I like working with the youth, because we have to give back.
Yeah.
Like that, well, I know I do. Like
Yeah.
I love giving back and providing, just the experiences that I've had, growing up, and letting people know that it's never too late. Like I said earlier on the show, like I'll be 53 next week.
Nice.
Oh, next week?
Next week.
Nice. Happy birthday,
Which
brother.
is crazy. Thank you. On my 100th episode.
Oh, wow.
Oh, perfect.
Today?
Right. No, next Friday will be
Oh,
my 100th.
okay.
Which
That's
is crazy
awesome.
how that worked out. Like
Yeah.
I didn't plan it that way either.
Right.
It
That is
just
awesome.
it just happened. Yeah. So, anyways, like I'm turning 53, but I just figured everything out like a few years ago. Like it's never too late, and there's always a way if you want it.
Yeah.
And I love talking to kids about that. Like, even though I'm kind of more non-sugarcoating, direct, but I think, that's how it was taught to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to be direct with them and don't sugarcoat it. I look at it like life's not going to sugarcoat you. So I'm not, like I'm being real. Like I like to be real with people, especially our kids. Like I got to, because the way I grew up in a gang neighborhood and all this stuff, I got to be real with them.
Yeah, that's true. And they know it.
Yeah.
They know it. Yeah.
But also let them know, like, dude, there is a way out. It may take some time, but there's a different path for you. Exactly. And like how you spoke, and like everybody was born with a gift. Mm-hmm. Let's figure out your gift. Mm-hmm. It may take a couple of years, but you have a gift. Yeah. And once you figure out your gift, then life changes for you.
Yeah.
100%. So what's next and big for you, Mr. Lovell, besides joining the Capster 3?
Well, there's a couple things on my heart. One of the things that's really strong in my heart is marriage and family.
Okay.
And so since last year, it's been like, I don't know, something strong that I really want to, just help families and maybe provide resources. So February 17th, actually, we're starting our first, partnering with one of the young ladies I grew up with in church. We're doing a Two Should Become One marriage conference. So I've never done one before, never been part of one before.
Okay.
But so, yeah, in February 17th. So that's one of the big steps, and, nervous is like, okay, this is not something I've done before, but it's always wanting to do. And I, of course, want to do more. So that's one of them. And then I really want to get into, like, short films and just do other things. And, so there's a few things that's on my heart to do. And even when it comes to the church, where I'm praying about, because we don't want to just stack people in a building. We want to help people spread out, Right. And so I'm just praying. I actually have some ideas to run by Olivia and Rossi with that, but to really spread out in the community. And like I said, I don't think Jesus was interested in everybody getting in one little building, and that's it. But I see it more of like a salt shaker. One minister said this years ago. I said, like, wherever God lands you, that's where you're supposed to bring the flavor, right? And so, I would say those three things. I would say doing marriage ministry things, and also bringing things like that out here in the AV, working on a short film, and then, like I said, doing I don't know what to call it, but more, I would say, community building when it comes to faith, right? And not just, like I said, not just stacked in one place, but kind of being out where the people are.
Right. Now, the marriage thing, is that just for adults that are married, or for youth as well?
For youth as well. Because one thing, as you were saying, if, like I said, if I could go back in time, I would have made it, talk to myself like, dude, don't you keep dating that girl? What I mean? Just so basically trying to help prepare them for marriage.
I think that's important, and we don't see a lot of that. Like, we talk to kids about careers and what they do, finding their gifts and all that, but we don't talk to them about relationships.
We do.
You do?
We do. Yeah. Well, I reached out actually to Valley Oasis too, because they have a domestic violence coordinator, and I just reached out to them, just kind of like, because we did our own curriculum, because we both had training through healthy relationships through this curriculum that Youth World provided. But things have changed, right? And so, domestic violence is so apparent, especially during COVID, right? And so we definitely want our young people to know the red flags, right? And just what a healthy relationship looks like. So that's in a normal curriculum that the Youth Build offers, that we offer in our young people. But I think it's bigger than just the surface. We need to go really deep into it.
Right.
So, yeah. And we don't, again, and this is kind of a call to action to any community members and organizations that are experts in their field. If you guys want to partner with us and do workshops with us and teach our young people, that's what we want.
Right. Look, like I was saying, I don't see that a lot. So I'm actually glad to hear that you guys do talk about that, because I think that's important as well. Because kids get into relationships really quick, and there's so many red flags. And
and what about it? It's funny because those are the popular conversations.
Those are always the popular
they like
conversations.
Talking about that. Wow. Because like you said, they start, they jump in there, and sometimes not knowing what's all about. They have these feelings, they're attracted or whatever, and so again, like Olivia said, part of the mission is breaking the cycles, and then part of it you have to help them see what those cycles are. That him beating on you and calling you the B word all the time, that's not normal. That's not. And so I remember, real quick, it broke my heart, heard a conversation with, this is years back. I was like, I don't care. Yeah, we call each other this and that, and almost bragging about the dysfunction. And then one of the kids was like, come on, no, that ain't right. Nobody should be talking to you like that or whatever. But it just, if you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. Right. And so.
No, and I just had this conversation with this couple, because they're in a toxic relationship right now, and as much as they have a little son, I think he's like maybe 4 or 5, and they want to be like the best parents and keep the family together, and I'm like, yeah, but you guys together don't work. I said, you guys really need to split, because what you're doing right now is toxic, and the one person that's really getting hurt is the child.
Yeah.
I said, you guys need to fix each other, fix yourselves. Maybe down the line, y'all can come back together. But you guys trying to make it work right now in the same household is so toxic, because both of them have been to jail for domestic violence. Oh, okay. And it's just getting worse. But, there's periods where they love each other. They want to make it work because we want to keep the family together. And I get that part. But until you guys individually go get help, it's not going to work. You guys are going to continue this cycle, and it's going to continue. I said, I get it. We all want our families together, but go get help first. Right. I think that was one of the best things that I did. I was married, my first married wife, I was married for 25 years, and I left, and I filed for divorce because I knew, I was going to cause more damage, and I left. And now, we both grown, we're best friends right now. Nice. Great friends. Nice. And I think we all grew from that. Nice. I would hate to think about if I wouldn't have did that, if I wanted to just keep the family together, where we would be. But I recognized that I needed to do that. So it's important that people recognize that and not try to, like you said, make the shoe fit just for the kid or something. Because most relationships, they do that. They all say the same thing. Oh, we wanted to do it for the kids, keep the family together. Sometimes you have to split apart, and if maybe later on you can come back together. But you need that help, though.
Yeah, you're just building trauma. So, and then we make our decisions based on our trauma, too, so because we're not healed, right? So we just kind of continue the cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So what else you guys want to add from Youth Build or ACT? Am I saying that right? ACT? Is it ACT?
Yeah, it's ACT, Advancing Communities Together.
Okay. I thought, what's the 4?
What do you mean the 4?
You guys got a 4 in one of your names.
ACT 4 AV Youth Build. That's my email. That's our website.
Oh, ACT 4
AV Youth Build.
Okay, so you guys combined it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not AV Youth. Sorry, I just totally messed that up. ACT 4 AV Youth. He looked at me like, no,
I know, he
wrong.
wait, what?
I was about to say, I'm like, did we change it?
Did we change it? Yeah, no.
I wasn't in that meeting.
I didn't get that memo.
But
okay, I know.
Well, we have our Youth Build program is open enrollment. We do open enrollment. So, if you know somebody that needs a high school diploma, but need something different, give us a call, give us a ring.
When are your courses?
So we have every 4 to 6 weeks we have a unit, but we're open enrollment. So we can take you in, get you ready with that, mental toughness, and then get you in academics.
Got you. Okay. Got it. So before I let you guys go, I need a mic drop from one of you guys.
Mic drop. What's a mic drop?
Okay, I won't put you on blast that you don't listen to my show with us. So
don't be afraid of being better.
I like that.
Yeah, that's our motto. Don't be afraid of being better.
I like that. See.
Yeah.
But say it again without my interruption.
Don't be afraid of being better.
Be afraid of being better.
Yeah.
That's so simple.
Yeah, every day.
Oh.
Every day
Wait,
we
what's
get an
yours?
opportunity.
I was about to say ditto.
You was gonna say ditto.
But no, but one thing she says a lot, and I take it, it's simple. You got this, basically. Just I have to sometimes have to say that to myself. You got this. Whether it be changing, trying to do something better, something different, or even recovering from a fail. No, you got this. Just keep going.
And that is important. Consistency. Keep going no matter what. I like that. Well, thank both of you guys for joining me today.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Anytime you guys want to come on and have a conversation, we can.
I think I'm going to bring our young people because I think they can speak more on just their experience.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
I would love that.
I was thinking
100%.
that got in here.
Yeah.
No,
that's one of the reasons I don't like to speak, because we're like, have our young people speak, because if they will tell us what's working, what's not working, right, what they need. So again, I focus a lot on young people because, again, they are our future. They're our future doctors, our future lawyers, our future politicians. So yeah.
Do you guys still do your podcast?
So no, we kind of took a little small break, or do we do?
It's a small break.
It's a small break.
As we're transitioning the other things to get.
Because we had our career tracks.
Okay, because I love that, because your youth was, and I remember listening to a couple of them, and I love the fact. I'm a big fan of.
And we're one mic, right?
I know. You know, I had that as a name at one point.
You told me at lunch.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy.
We were one mic. So we are one mic. We are one mic.
I know everybody use my name.
No, because that's part of our shared language. So one mic is one person is speaking. We all respect who the speaker is. Right. So one mic.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love the name. But again, like I said, I love having the youth speak. Like, I'm a big fan of that, because I was always taught growing up, never speak unless spoken to,
right.
But we was never spoken to. And this is why a lot of adults are afraid to speak up. And I think parents still teach kids that, like, hey, don't speak until they're spoken to. It's like, don't do that, because they're going to grow up and you tell kids to speak up, tell what's wrong, speak up. But then we hit them with the don't speak unless spoken to. It's like, that don't make sense to me. Because then you grow up and now no one's speaking up. Like domestic violence, child abuse, like they don't speak up because they was always taught not to speak up. So that's why I'm a big fan of, the kids and the youth using their voices. Like, no, speak up, like talk.
Yeah, because get the young people.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
No, I would love to. 100%. All right, well, thank you guys
Thank
again.
you so
Appreciate
much.
you.
Thanks.
All right, boss, appreciate you.
All right, we out of here.